Hey, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Franzi back with another Genshin Impact video, and today they have released the new Hypostatic Symphony event live on Genshin Impact. This event is probably one of the best events gameplay-wise that Genshin Impact has ever released. So basically what you do in this event is that every single day for the next 7 days, they release one challenge at a time, all the way up to 7, and then each challenge is basically you fighting one of these three cubes, and the first day was just the electro hypostasis cube, and then potentially the next 2 days will be either the anima or the geo cube as well. Basically you fight them and you can modify the event or the fight to raise the difficulty and get higher score. And as you can see, all you have to do is complete the fight to get these PRIMOGEMS, so the score doesn't matter at all when you fight it. You just have to complete the challenge, or defeat the electro hypostasis cube, and you get the 60 PRIMOGEMS, and I'm assuming that's how it will be for the next 6 days as well. So as you guys can see, it says my current score down here is 3,420, and basically what this is that every single challenge you will get a score, and then they will take your best score from each individual challenge, all 7 of them, and they will add them up, and that will be your total score. And that is this right here. You have milestones for total score, and there's 7 challenges, so you have to get up to 20,000 score to get every single reward. But realistically, the only these rewards are okay after 14,000, but 14,000 is definitely what you want to get to at the bare minimum get this name card. Everything after 14,000 is just some mora and some weapon enhancement materials, so it's not like crucial or anything. Definitely want to get up to 14,000 at the bare minimum though. So if there are 7 different challenges and you want to get to 14,000, you need at least to get a score of 2,000 on every single challenge. But if you want to get all the way up to 20,000, then you pretty much have to get almost 3,000. It's like 2,880-ish, I think. That's pretty much the number. And how this event works is you can just go to click challenge location if you want, and it brings you to this section of Leeway. As you guys can see, it is way over here. And you just come to this little portal right here, go ahead and enter, and then here it is. Now on this screen, as you can see, it's got different challenges. They don't unlock until the next day, but day 1 is the electro hypostasis cube, and it's not just the normal electro hypostasis cube. There are special gimmicks and modifiers that you can do to this, and the special gimmick for day 1 is that the electro hypostasis has amethyst prisms, which are basically just these prisms that are scattered around the edge of the arena, and they're activated by electro damage, either by you or by the cube itself. And then once it is activated, they will just deal continuous AoE electro damage to anybody if you are standing in their circle, and then they shut them off by using an elemental reaction. So it's just a small little gimmick to keep you from running away constantly and keeping you from the edges of the arena, I suppose. And if you have any of these characters below Ganyu, Zhangling, Diluc, or Changyan, then all of these characters will deal plus 20% damage during this challenge. So if you have any of these characters built up, they will, it's just a good idea to use them. So how do you get the score is the main question. So here you go to difficulty level, and here is where you can pick easy, where it multiplies your score by times 1, which basically is nothing, 0.5 or 1.5, excuse me, 2.5 and 4.5. And for the most part, I think people are going to be running expert, just because I don't think the electro hypostasis cube is difficult. But this is where you choose the modifiers, and down here it will tell you the total score you'll get for your run if you do pass. So right off the bat, I picked the least amount of time. I have to beat this in 2 minutes, and because I have a 4.5 times multiplier from choosing expert, I get 900 score from just doing that alone. So the best way to decide what you want to do for your modifiers is basically just test out yourself, figure out what works and what doesn't work for you. If you have a crowd reliant team, you don't want to have this on for obvious reasons. If you have a team that's only dealing physical damage, again, don't have this on. But I think I'm going to just go through and try and pick out the easiest settings to get a score of 2,000 and then to try and get a score of 2,880. So I think beating this within 180 seconds shouldn't be too difficult. If it is, then you can always just go up more. I think you at least need 25% more HP at the bare minimum. I think as long as you don't use a cryo unit like Changyan or Ganyu, then you should be okay. Physical resistance, I think you should be using some kind of elemental reaction, so it's fine to use that as well. Party healing, don't need that. When your active character's HP is lower than 50%, your attack is decreased. You just dodge forehead. But I mean, realistically, yeah, it's easier said than done, but if you dodge, then it really helps you just get a higher score. I wouldn't take off crit damage just because that's a large part of your damage. Energy recharge maybe, but I don't think you need to. Switching characters, that character can take up to 25% more damage. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a big deal. So there you go. That's 2,000, and that's no big deal. You still have your movement speed. Your opponent doesn't have that much more attack. Your crit damage is fine. Your energy recharge is fine. It's just you lose some resistance here, but as long as you don't use units in that, then you're fine. So I think this is pretty good for if you're planning to get just 2,000 on each of them to get your 14,000 for the name card. But if you want to get your the total score of 20,000, then you're going to want to go for at least 2,880. So I think from there you can give them more attack as long as you dodge. It shouldn't be a big deal. Again, this is another one. Is after you sprint, you take more damage. You can put that on and be fine. And then here's where you kind of have to make your sacrifice, I guess. You either choose, in my opinion, movement speed. It kind of hurts your dodge, but at the same time, you're able to dodge still as long as you time it correctly and you know what's coming. So that's not the biggest deal. Or you could do elemental skill CD is increased by 100%, which just doubles your cooldown of your elemental skill. It depends on the units you're using. If this doesn't bother you, then yeah, you can go ahead and do that. But either of those two, then there's your score, 2,880. No big deal. And of course, you can always go higher. I mean, I just did the bare minimum to get the score you need. But if you want to go higher, then you absolutely can. And then also at the bottom here, in case you have other things like you want to put on this movement speed thing, you can put one of these on, and this is just a buff to your team. So when your character's HP is greater than 90%, your crit rate is increased by 10 and crit damage is increased by 20. It's not like a craziest buff or anything, and you don't lose a ton, but it's kind of just like a thing if you want it. It's basically just making the boss easier, and there's also the shield strength one. So real quick, I'm just gonna go into the event with the least requirements possible, just 450, and I'm just gonna go see how the event is. And I'm just gonna use a random team that I have going. So there's this cool thing that if you come here and you don't have your elemental burst or full health, then it will fully charge, and then you can just leave, and it's basically like a free healing and a free elemental burst for you. Just a cool side thing I thought I'd throw in before I start. But this is the event, the Electro Hypostasis Cube, and then here are the Amethyst Prisms. And as soon as he hits them with some kind of, oh geez, I gotta dodge, yeah, nice. But as soon as he hits them, there you go, he hits them right there. They cause elemental reaction, or I'm sorry, to stop them, you have to cause an elemental reaction. And the best way to do that is with ice or fire. I'm not sure if you can with anything else. Geo might work as well. But as you can see, Zhangling's bear just destroys it, no problem. And this is also one of the different moves that the Electro Hypostasis Cube has, is that he has these electro homing balls. But after a while, they stop becoming homing. So as long as you're far away when he fires them, and then they stop homing onto you, and you just dodge to the right or left, then it should be no problem. But he is just the normal hypostasis other than that, and you can just beat him. Also, here's another little thing that is slightly different. Instead of the normal 4 raids, he's got like 6. It just makes him harder to hit when he is doing this, and kind of makes it a little bit harder to dodge. You kind of got to make sure you're carefully in between them, opposed to casually walking around with the other 4. And as you guys can see, these Amethyst Prisms really aren't that big of a deal. It just kind of keeps you from going on the outside of the arena. And like I said, the best way to dodge these is just be far away, and that so once it stops homing, it just goes that direction, and it's no longer a big deal. But if you're not far enough away, it does track onto you, and it is actually really annoying. And now here's the cube when he has little HP. I'm gonna bring out Zhangling for this. You can just use her elemental burst. And it's pretty easy to take care of most things. You might want to throw the bear on the big one just because it takes a little bit longer. But there you go. That is it. No problem whatsoever. Obviously, I did the easy difficulty, so it was going to be easy. But that is the fight in a nutshell. People have been speculating on what the challenges after day 3 are, because obviously with day 1, you're going to have the Electro Hypostasis. Day 2, you're going to think the Anima or the Geo. And day 3, you're going to have the other one. I think a lot of people think that challenge 4, 5, and 6 are going to be a combination of the two, so like Electro Animo at the same time, and then like Animo Geo, and then like Electro Geo, and then people think day 3 might be all or day 7 might be all 3 of them. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully it is like that, because that would just be a really cool challenge, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. This event is really cool. I love the fact that you have a boss fight with mechanics that you can choose a difficulty on. It's really cool. I think it's got the best gameplay of any event, opposed from the Cryo Regisvine from the Chalk Prince. That was really cool mechanics and gimmicks and stuff. I think this is really good, and if they keep heading in this direction, this game is going to be a lot of fun going into the future. But that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching as always. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one. Peace.